The last traces of a very warm and sunny autumn are quietly fading in the garden beds next to my studio. This is my mother's hydrangea bush, and it is settling in for the long winter months ahead. And these are my impatiens, and they are beginning to wind down too, but at least they're showing off their last colorful buds. This unusually warm and sunny November is quietly coming to a close. Learning to see something that can inspire you doesn't have to come from all the usual sources. Fall foliage is awesome, but this year, looking beyond the obvious places, I found inspiration in something very different. My name is Laura Swink, and this is Fine Art, Fine Home. Inspiration is a skill that you can develop, and it shows itself in the most unusual places. The skill is in seeing it in unlikely things. While standing outside my studio, I noticed that my neighbor had a pear tree, a big, happy tree teeming with ready-to-pick pears. With her blessing, I picked a lot. Among the things I made were cardamom vanilla pear sauce, pear vinegar, pear upside-down cake, and the most surprising thing ever, pickled pears. I'm leaving links in the description for these wonderfully tasty sweet and sour pears. It's quick, easy, and well worth your efforts. And don't forget the sprigs of rosemary. You won't be disappointed. These don't require any water bath canning, just a very clean jar run through the dishwasher, lots of good apple cider vinegar, sugar, a collection of spices, and don't forget the rosemary. Who would have thought? Bring it all together, let it sit for at least a week, and the results are quite impressive. But that's not all I got out of this pear picking adventure. Look at the color. It is absolutely fabulous. Now, pears have been the subject of many still lifes, and you can see the works of Van Gogh, Cézanne, Manet, and not to forget Gustav Klimt's 1903 painting entitled The Pear Tree. This happens to be one of my favorites. These artists weren't the only ones to paint these beauties. There were many still life paintings of pears over many years by many other artists. But I had a desire to take this in a different direction, using the color palette instead of the subject to use for a new piece I painted this autumn. This is a 20 by 16 acrylic mixed media entitled Nec ante solis ortum, or in English it's otherwise known as Before Sunrise. While this piece originally had a working title called Risen, I pulled one of my favorite naming tricks and looked up the translation of these words before sunrise in Latin. Together with the stunning color of sun-ripened pears, I thought it a perfect name considering both the pears and the new painting wouldn't have happened without the ingredient of sunlight. This time I skipped the exercise of matching color and relied instead on color mixing straight onto the canvas through the layers as I worked. And slowly, layer by layer, the piece came together and the colors were an exact representation of the ripened winter pears. Sometimes as artists, we manage to capture lightning in a bottle and bring together that perfectly inspired thought with the final outcome on canvas. This painting is a great example of such an event, if only it were that easy every time. Nec ante solis ortum is now on my website with additional close-up pictures if you want to see more detail of the piece. That link you can also find below. Thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you too are so inspired, and I'll see you next time with other exciting things. Thank you.